Hey, what's up friends? So today we're going to work on some raised garden beds, and the way we like to do them is I buy the 6-foot fence pickets and then a landscape timber, which is right here, you can see that, and then the fence pickets I'll cut off the dog ears, but pretty much they're about almost 6 feet even without the dog ears lengthwise, and then the ends, either you can do, if you have the room, you can do 6 feet by 6 feet, or I'll split them in half and we'll do 6 feet by 3, almost like 12 inches or so height. So it's really great height and depth that we like, and we seem to do this with all of our garden beds. We've tried the pallets. The problem with the pallets are when you cut them or pry them apart, not only does it take really long to do, but then a lot of times you have to just cut it in half, and it's just a lot more screws and a lot more waste and materials that you're using. Whereas these, you can see what these pickets look like here. So this is a 6x6 bed that we did, for the most part, pretty close to 6x6, and it's just super simple to do. You get that landscape timber, put it down in the corner here, you can see right here, and then we'll do some of this plastic just wrapped around because they are pressure treated, and I know that they say yes, you can, grow stuff on them, it's good, it's not toxic, anything like that. Depends on who you trust. I don't really believe it. I get it's probably not like it was years ago, but we want to protect it as much as possible, the soil not picking up any additional chemicals or anything like that. I'm going to be building a really long one. It's almost 18 feet by 3, so let's go ahead and get started. So what I did right now was I just marked out on the landscaping timber the height of the pickets, so 2 on top, and that way I could easily screw it in the different corners. So let me just show you how it's set up right here. This is a saw that I use. It is my trusty Harbor Freight saw, but I do love it, and I can do different angles and different degrees. I can pull it forward and back. Like a lot of Harbor Freight things, the laser doesn't work anymore. The bag I don't think collects anything, but it gets the job done, and I really do like it. It's very easy to use, and you'll get a lot straighter cut than using a circular saw. Some people are okay with it. Me, circular saw, I've gotten better, but not straight enough. So again, I marked this out, and like I said, the great thing about this saw is it lets you go forward and back, and then you also have the chop part. You can tighten it, and then you can also tilt it whichever way you want to go, as well as spin the bottom, so you get all these different angles really easily. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna chop up more of these, and that way we can get over to the actual bed and start putting that together. So you can see I cut those down, and the great thing is with the height that I used with those fence pickets, that's really the scrap that's left. So I got these for really strong corner brackets on it, and then I'll just be able to screw the fence pickets into it for all the different corners. So I'll get 4 for each. And again, these posts are like $5.50 each, which is really great. And you can use them for a lot of different applications. They are pressure treated, so not really, we try to put some plastic around to keep any of that pressure treated stuff off of it, even though people say that it's nothing to worry about. It can seep, not like many years ago where it was a lot of different chemicals. Still don't trust it, and I want to keep that stuff out of there. But really, really easy and inexpensive product to use. So now I'm just going to go frame it out. And this one over here, it's going to be a pretty long bed. So these are like 6x3. So we did, one full 6 foot one, and then we cut them in half. So those are pretty nice beds that you can see. But this one, we wanted to run pretty much, not the full length of the fence, but a good length of the fence here. So I'm going to cut that up. So I'm going to have a few different posts that kind of hold it in place. But for the most part, it should be pretty easy just to start putting together with those pieces that I just cut. All right, so pretty much I'm set to go. I line this up, and I have a little bit of an overhang here because the boards that I cut in half, I want them pretty much just to line up here. That way it almost looks as square as possible. Now again, this is for a garden. I'm not looking for 100% right angles, things like that. I just want to do a pretty good job. Now you can do it a few different ways. If you want, you can just screw it directly into the board. Up to you. Sometimes these boards, they're pretty dried out, but they may end up cracking. So if that starts happening, then you can go ahead and get some drill bits and do that. So let's just try it without doing that. That worked pretty well there. Got one more. You don't have to go really crazy with this or anything. You just want to keep it together. Now on these end ones, I split them in half. You'll see right here. So I split it in half, and then when I split it, I do like to just cut off that dog ear on the end there and just cut it straight, so it's a little bit easier to line up. So if I do that, I'm going to show you what that will look like there. And that way, now these are rounded on one side and flat on the other side. If you have, you know, if you have a table saw where you can cut it, you can do that, or just line it up and just screw it in. Not a big deal. So a little price saving hack. So if you're going to Lowe's or Home Depot and wood prices are crazy, what you could do is you can find some wood that's, you know, really below par. And a lot of times if you go find the manager, say, hey, this wood is really warped or messed up, they'll usually half the price. Just got to find someone to ask. So if you're open to doing that, I would say go for it. I've saved a lot of money on like the 2x4s and things like that that don't look great. You probably wouldn't use them for studs, but I was able to cut them up and use them for different projects. So instead of paying $5 a time, I paid $2.50 a stud. It was really worth it because a lot of times the contractors, they don't want those and they're just going to get trashed anyway. So that was really good. Even like this, I mean, these are pretty warped, but to the fence pickets, like most people, if they're building a fence, they're not going to want that, even though they can probably bend it back a little bit. I didn't see these at the time, but you can probably get, you know, something off of these. So if you're open to it and don't care about saying something, go for it. You can always save some money, especially now. So after about 25 minutes or so, I am pretty much done putting this together, and it really did not cost that much. I mean, probably under, let's see, under $50 for sure for all of this. So you can see what this looks like. Yeah, it's not the straightest thing that's out there, and we can kind of work with it and adjust it a little bit as we need. And then what we like to do is just wrap the sides with some plastic. I mean, it's totally up to you what you want to do, but we wrap the sides with plastic, and then we'll put the soil right down that we're going to get soil in the mulch and the sticks and the cardboard and all that stuff to help make like a good compost and a good soil for all the vegetables that we're going to do here. So I don't know if you were able to see kind of how big this one was, but it's let's see, 612, about 18 feet, probably 18 by 3. So it'd be pretty good by the fence. You have some room on the back there to walk by, some room over here, so it's plenty that you can tend to everything. And really, if you need, the 3 foot wide is really nice, because if you want to do one of those small little hoops, you can get some of the PVC and easily do hoops that are that you could probably cover this whole thing with really easily and get to both sides. So that was really simple to do. And I mean, I have other scrap wood and I have another one of those posts, but this was just one single landscaping post that I used, that I cut up and just used it pretty much to, you know, bring everything together. Very simple to do on this raised garden bed. So we're gonna go ahead, we gotta get some more dirt, but we're gonna be able to fill this, and we have some more space for gardens back here. But that was a pretty easy project. If you have a way that you like doing it, wood that you recommend, you know, is it pallet wood or something like that, leave a comment below. Let me know how you like to do it, if you found an affordable way to make these raised beds. But this is the way that we like to do it. So thank you so much for joining us today and learning as we grow, and we will see you in the next video.